Bon matin. Ah oui, c'est vrai, on avait cassé la porte et tout, et on était arrivé ici. En effet, la porte est à présent cassée. Ah, c'est vraiment bien. Ah bah attends, je vais enlever le... Attendez. Ça, nickel. Et on y retourne. Un bon gros café là, du sable c'est cool d'un punching ball. La fiche est écrit Itius Faultis, le reste est effacé. Oh, lancer de poids. Ah, mais non. Attends, je peux donner la boule de lancer de poids à René? Laissez à user de quoi vous rompre le cou. Incroyable. Dans la sueur et le cuir.
A barbell lies on the floor. The color has worn off its weight plates. It's 60 kilograms. Your triceps hum at the sight of these weights.
J'ai oublié mon style, toujours pas de pantalon.
Show the world what kind of beast it's dealing with. Lift them. There are no collars on the barbell. This is a safety hazard.
28%? Non. Regardez Kim, c'est un piège, il n'y a aucune pince sur l'haltère.
The weight may fall off. Better not touch it then.
Il est assez tordu pour enlever les pinces d'un haltère, ce salopard mérite de finir au trou.
Violation of EPIS safety regulations if the gym was still operating, but it isn't. No one's supposed to come here anymore.
On va pas tenter, hein. Bon, qu'est-ce qu'il y a là-bas? Oh là là. This is a jeu d'horreur? J'aime pas. Rose Dame Jeanne remplit cette étrange liquide. Les animaux sauvages empaillés et accrochés au mur nous observent dans l'obscurité. Ah, on se sent bien là. Des rotors de dirigeables recouverts de toile d'araignée. On dirait des pales. Il y a des... Petite ambiance. Un torse de mannequin nu, d'une étrange couleur jaunâtre. Du velours bleu, dos au toucher, rongé au mythe. Le tiroir avant tout. Mémoire filamentaire, planning de production. 50 balles. Ok, des pales en acier. Ok, attends. Oui, c'est vrai que je peux encore prendre de la drogue. Je peux interagir avec ça? Non, je peux juste le vendre, ça coûte 50 balles. C'est bien ça. J'aime bien l'idée, hein. On peut voir partout. Et où sont passés les vêtements qui étaient exposés? Bonne question.
This appears to be some kind of machine with a cube-shaped heart and a wired framework. The keyboard has a rectangular on-off button. A piece of paper still hangs from the printer.
A radio computer. Just sitting here without anyone inside.
Surprise et méfiance se mêlent dans sa voix.
What he means is that these things cost money. Why would anyone just leave it behind? This is the Ream Civic radio computer, model RC5120, equipped with a Feld mainframe and a Ream-compatible printer.
Allumez la machine.
The machine lights up like some prehistoric animal stirring from its slumber, revealing fluorescent play and print keys on the keyboard. The hatch on the machine's central compartment is wide open.
Regardez à l'intérieur du compartiment.
Like a beehive without its brood. Some cables have been left dangling, disconnected. The filament you have would fit perfectly inside the compartment.
Ah. Ouais, mais ça coûte 50. Ah vas-y, je suis trop curieux. J'insère le planning de production.
Smooth draw, the filament slides into place. On the keyboard, the play key starts blinking.
J'appuie sur lecture.
Of fabric right above the keyboard starts producing a soft hum. The sound of static seeps through the machine's planar magnetic driver. Oh no. It was already glowing and now it's also making a sound. It's probably some alien CO-like technology. The static gets louder, slowly filling up the abandoned hall, until a voice speaks out, crackling and old, cutting into the air.
Good morning. Fortress accident en rue de Saint-Ghislaine. This is East Insulindian Repeater Station 1.
Ah bon?
Please repeat. Is this the production schedule?
Quoi le planning de production?
The filament you have inserted into the reader.
Le machin brillant que j'ai mis dedans, vous voulez dire?
Is that the production schedule?
Hein?
If you are unsure, could you please take a look?
Comment je fais?
Open the hatch on the compartment. Don't touch the wires. A current is running through it, but the core is safe. There's a filament inside. I need to know what it's called.
C'est le planning de production.
Good. Please repeat the password.
Le mot de passe? J'ai toujours été nul en mot de passe. Vous voulez pas me filer un indice? Je ne connais pas le mot de passe.
Received. I will register this login attempt.
That sounds bad. A login attempt. Something a criminal would do.
Ah oui, mais je connais pas. Pas ma faute.
Don't worry. Passwords have a way of turning up sooner or later.
Fortress accident. Is there anything else I can do for you today?
Vous êtes quoi, vous, une machine ou une vraie personne?
Yes, I am alive. I am 74 years old and my name is Yvonne.
Tu Yvonne?
She repeats passwords. Programming people are all paranoid.
Yvonne, mon partenaire me dit que si vous êtes là, c'est parce que les programmeurs sont tous des paranos.
Really cautious.
Hmm.
It's my job to protect their filaments as a password repeater at the East Insulindian Station.
Bien sûr, Yvonne. Ça va de soi. D'accord, mais vous êtes où et comment vous savez où je suis?
I work as a repeater at the East Insulindian Repeater Station. It's my job to know where you are, Fortress accident.
D'accord.
As for me, well, I am sitting in my cubicle, surrounded by a wall of radios.
Quelle chance.
On an island on the river Esperance, a small woman, all skin and bones, sits in a room filled with audio equipment. Thousands of tiny lights are reflected back from her prescription lenses, like stars in the dark.
Now, please tell me if there's anything else I can do, Fortress accident.
Tout pour le moment.
And
Tiles on the cube are still smoldering, casting the framework in a soft glow. Fluorescent play and print keys shine on the keyboard.
Je pars. Je vais essayer de trouver le mot de passe. Les développeurs du RPG le plus avancé de l'univers.
This old fireplace is
Un mot de dev, peut-être?
drawn in blue and red marker, the mesh spreading over the stone like blood vessels on alabaster skin. It looks ghostly and strangely.
Une solution? Non, c'est juste que vu que je fais la fermeture ce soir, je fais le 20h, quand on fait le 20h, j'ai la possibilité de pas venir le matin. Et vu que mon planning de service public ne commence qu'à 13h, je vais tranquillement vers 13h. Qu'est-ce que c'est que ça?
Radio frequencies, it seems. UKV 123.6, UKV 123.7, UKV 123.9.
Ça bosse dur, hein?
Some written notes, too. Sparse and cryptic.
Attends, parce que du coup, j'allais partir en vacances et à cause des grèves, j'ai pas de train, donc je peux pas partir et on peut pas me rembourser.
Unclear.
Ça
It
va?
looks like a cardiovascular system split into veins and capillaries. Very advanced.
J'allais à Nantes. Alors ça serait un truc médical?
So, the web is comprised
Pardon.
of radio stations, all lead back
Quand est-ce qu'on se revoit? Ça c'est une autre question très très intéressante.
to the master
Je ne peux pas te répondre.
A note says, This one can listen in on any station it wants.
J'aurais bien dit pour ton anniversaire, mais ça me paraît tendu niveau timing.
Looks like a surveillance program.
Okay.
They must have had massive air width. These things don't come cheap.
C'est en Dax, tu m'étonnes. Y'a pas de train et tout là. Un meneur de jeu, qui est-ce qui joue?
Decides to call in to a call-in station, it looks like.
Ah.
A list of names under the stations suggests people across 6 Isolas would be playing. Muindi, Insulinda, Kotla, Grad, Samara, and
On
even...
se dit pour le mien, XD. Ah, en plus je travaille moi donc...
It's as if the less money they had,
En Dax,
the
hein.
more ambitious their project became.
Maintenant s'approche encore et parcourt du doigt le labyrinthe de lignes. Je vous fais dire ça.
Schedule. I know doom when I see it.
C'est nul. Ouais, bon après...
Lot of funding.
Après je suis en congé du coup, est-ce que je pars? Je devais partir. Lol. Quoi d'autre?
Nothing. It's just lines on marble. An echo from times long gone. No one has used the fireplace in ages.
Oh bien. Pas de mot de passe donc.
Your flashlight slides over
Pardon.
an old green chalkboard covered in scribbles, sketches, and schemes, like some ancient cave mural. Some of the writing has faded with age, but you can still make out sections here and there. Photos and drawings have
Pour
been...
l'instant ça va ce qu'on découvre, mais ce que je comprends pas c'est pourquoi elle nous a empêché d'y aller la libraire dans cet endroit. Inspecter les dessins.
These lithe, pointy-eared creatures appear to be different types of welkins. You make out autumnal candle welkin.
Ah mais parce que c'était prévu depuis le 12 janvier déjà.
Magic.
Là tu me dis week-end à Paris, moi j'entends argent. Ça dépend pourquoi. C'est vrai que je devais répondre pour quelle raison. Juste comme ça?
Translucent welkins, with organs
Tu veux
shining,
voir des poubelles qui brûlent?
and even ether welkins.
Il y a 1000 trucs à faire. Ah ouais non mais si tu me dis c'était pour un concert ou si tu me dis pour un événement genre un truc speedon machin, ok. Mais juste comme ça, pour y aller comme ça, je suis pas sûr. Hein.
No longer a mere man, but a welkin.
Mais on peut en reparler le moment venu.
One of the welkins, towering among the rest, appears to be different, however.
Oh là là. Bah ouais. Je
It's
connais, je sors pas déjà.
a high welkin, his face white and scarred like cracked marble. This
Parce que je commence à tomber malade là?
the welkin supremacist.
Encore?
The note says all non-welkin races will be purged. The Haldor, the Twarg, the humans, and even headless men, all of them, purged. Imagine a world filled only with welkin, green welkin, dread welkin, and the high welkin to rule them all.
Sors pas avec nous. Bah oui, parce que j'ai pas besoin de faire d'efforts avec vous. Ça qui est bien, tu vois. Ouais, je sors pas non plus que ça avec d'autres personnes. Hein. Qui sont ces créatures? Qui les a dessinées? Est-ce qu'elles sont réelles? Plusieurs questions me taraudent.
This looks like concept art for a project. It's not really real.
Ah ouais, qui est une suprématiste.
Political commentary. That one has a great beard too.
Il m'a l'air d'admirer la barbe fournie de Welkin. Et en vrai, ouais, de toute façon, je sors quand même pas souvent, hein, on va pas se mentir. Hein. Faut passer autant de temps à les dessiner.
Really like building a world, I think, even if it's just for a game.
Tout instructif, laissons le Welkin de côté.
Details.
Inspectons les photos.
Collage depicts barren, icy landscapes wrapped in perpetual night. You see permafrost and glacial landforms, dead trees grown in under the snow.
Okay.
Entire oceans have been frozen from shore to shore. There are pictures of settlements on dried up riverbeds, abandoned in a storm. Animal corpses in the dark, carcasses and bones. Albeit dark and cold, this vision also feels cozy in its own way, like eggnog or morphine, a much needed respite from our
Ah, l'électrochimie, quoi. Voilà pour foutre la merde.
pinned postcard reads, "The heat death scenario, a desperate fight for geothermal energy engulfs the world as Wirral becomes untethered from its sun, drifting through the universe."
Merde. Inspecte le planning.
This is a monthly calendar from the year 50. Cryptic words like sprint, daily minimi, and GPI span the marker-drawn grid, the grand scheme of production and money.
Yeah.
It looks a bit like an academic calendar, only much more brutal.
Nul à lire, qu'est-il arrivé?
Goes on. The numbers in the boxes grow rarer and rarer. The board becomes an empty snowfield in the final days. Only failure and regret dwell in this region.
Looks like they didn't make it.
Lieutenant observe le paysage désolé.
A note in the bottom left corner of the chalkboard says, "See the prod schedule filament for
C'est
details."
chaud. Mais j'ai pas le mot de passe. En fait, en regardant les notes.
It's only partly legible, but you can still make out 3 slogans: Call in, Tune out, Wirral Untethered, and Heat Death of the Universe. The full text reads, "Heat Death of the Universe is the new black." Another note says, "The biggest advancement in role-playing systems since the 30s." Outside, a cold wind wraps the building in its bosom. Snowflakes in the wind. An old woman passes what the locals call the doomed commercial area.
Fort bien. Mais... Oui, Kim.
Okay. What do you think is going on with that computer, chalkboard, and fireplace?
Dès qu'une entreprise est en fait faillite, la seule question est que diable fabriquait-il?
That is the question.
Recule d'un pas en se frottant les mains.
Like he's ready to lay out a fine theory, crafted together like...
Vas-y, mon petit Kim.
It looks like one of those popular pen and paper role-playing games. Only these people were trying to automate it, make it work on radio computers.
On lui faisait un vidéo game? Comment prévoit-il de le faire fonctionner?
Stations. None of the players have to be physically present. Anyone in the world can participate in the game, as long as they have a two-way radio.
Dinguerie.
Then there's the game master frequency that listens in on the smaller call-in stations. I think that was supposed to coordinate the stories, functioning as a master of ceremonies of sorts.
Coordinating so many games would take a whole switchboard of people, possibly divided into sub-frequencies.
C'est la première fois que quelqu'un faisait un truc genre?
To my knowledge, they make automated games in Graz, Messina, Königstein. You know, places with industry. But I don't think anyone has attempted to create an inter-isolary game before. We just don't have the technology.
C'était donc un jeu de rôle.
Those Welkins are a dead giveaway. Role-playing people love that stuff. The world looks like a modified version of the WeWorld board game.
T'as l'air de bien t'y connaître, Kim. Dis donc, à votre avis, qu'est-il envie à cette entreprise?
They stopped filling out the schedule on the chart.
Eh ben.
Indeed, it's ambitious and untethered from reality, but
Lieutenant incline la tête en réfléchissant. Le monde est froid et solitaire, ce jeu lui tiendrait compagnie. Finissons-le!
it's too late for that, I'm afraid.
Il affiche un demi-sourire, en regardant la pièce délabrée autour de lui. Les tuyaux grincent et un rat traverse la pièce.
Let's keep moving.
Let's keep moving. Ok. Il y a encore une pièce, j'ai peur. Oh là là. Ok. Les chaussures dans une flaque de neige fondue. Le plancher craque. Carte postale. Une porte.
An
Fermé.
iron safety curtain curves before your eyes, folded like a bellows. It covers half the room, blocking the way into a colossal industrial chimney.
Je frappe le rideau de fer.
To do, nothing happens.
Je frappe plus fort.
Nothing.
Je frappe toujours plus fort.
Those curtains prove to be surprisingly sturdy.
Je me soigne.
This hurts now.
Il me faut du soin. J'ai eu un succès. Je crois que j'adore taper des trucs. Étonnamment, ce rideau est plutôt résistant. Vous avez mal au poing maintenant.
Please try to refrain from attacking random things.
C'est pas le premier objet venu, c'est un objet tout à fait crucial. Je vais voir ce qu'il y a de l'autre côté.
There's something on the other side necessarily.
Demande le lieutenant. Les yeux trahissent une certaine curiosité.
There's no way we can get in right now. Let's investigate further.
Je pars. Je boude. Toujours pas de pantalon. Est-ce que je peux essayer de gratter un mot de passe avec Yvonne?
The cube are still smoldering. The speaker comes.
Good morning. First, please repeat good. Please repeat the password.
La police!
I am contractually obliged to protect the privacy of the filament.
Ah bon, ok, elle veut pas.
Now, can you please repeat the password? Receive Fortress Accident.
Vous m'appelez Fortress Accident.
Is the company on whose name the term you are
D'accord.
using has been.
Vous avez d'autres informations sur cette entreprise?
One moment.
Attendez, tournez les pages d'un catalogue, puis c'est meilleur d'une voix appliquée.
Fortress Accident SCA produces revolutionary interactive call-in radio games.
C'est quoi ces...
What the catalog says.
Ça va, Yvonne. C'est quoi ces jeux radio interactifs?
Any other questions?
Ah, d'accord. Oh non, c'est bon, salut.
Tiles on the cube are
Ah,
still
je vais regarder le planning de production.
out of its glowing nest.
Non, mais je le remets.
Draw. The filament slides into.
Si j'appuie sur impression, ça fait quoi?
Nothing happens.
Dommage. J'ai pas de mot de passe. Il y a une porte. Let's go la porte. What? Un truc pour la mémoire, mais j'ai pas de truc pour... Le mur s'est écroulé, impossible d'y accéder.
A thick layer of coal dust covers the furnace, coloring it pitch black.
Regardez dans la chaudière.
It's dark and grimy here. In the darkness, you can hear chatter. It's coming from above.
Ah.
A voice. The echo is so prominent, it's impossible to
Merde.
discern what the voices are saying or what's producing them.
What are you doing?
Je vous demande le lieutenant en vous voyant grimper à l'intérieur de la chaudière. Je me trompe peut-être, mais je crois avoir entendu une voix à l'étage.
Really? Maybe it's
Lève les yeux au plafond.
behind those safety curtains we saw upstairs. We should ask the lady in the bookstore what's going on with these curtains.
Qu'est-ce que c'est, Kim? Une sorte de chaudière?
Looks like an old central furnace used to heat the building. It's connected to the chimney.
La porte et jette un œil
No one
furtif.
has used it in ages. No signs of any recent fire. Only dead rats.
On va faire ça. J'étale du charbon sur mes mains, je sais pas pourquoi.
Each layer of coal now covers your skin, sinking into the wrinkles. Your hands look ancient. Maybe you could paint something with this coal. Leave a cave painting for future archaeologists. No, that would be stupid. Still, it's good to have this dirt on you. Real men wear coal for makeup.
On crée bien un coup de pied, mais j'ai peur des dégâts.
A hollow ring echoes through the furnace. Your toe hurts.
Je sais, je sais. Putain. Va bien. Je vais sauvegarder. On doit lui demander... C'est quoi cette chaudière là? Machine à glace décongelée et débranchée. Pas écrit pour les gens, il y a une porte secrète ici. Oui? Ah oui. Deux fusils rouillés sont dissimulés au-dessus de la canalisation, ils ont l'air inutilisables. Quelqu'un a coincé des armes déglinguées sous le plafond. Je veux bien, mais la porte secrète ne nous aide pas vraiment. Ah oui, c'est du soin. Débardeur filet là. Ah ouais, là j'ai du style là. Câbles de l'interphone sont branchés dans la boîte à fusibles. Alors, allons-y.
Two cables are plugged into the breaker box. The red one leads off into the darkness, while the black one seems to be feeding a buzzing little fridge-like thing in the corner. Rip the red one out. Look how giant and red and inviting it is.
Débranche le câble rouge.
Sizzle. The room is slightly quieter now.
Débranche le câble noir.
Close to you dies with a soft electric.
Why did you do that?
Je sais pas pourquoi je l'ai branché, je préfère agir à l'instant.
The lieutenant raises his brows, but doesn't say anything. The electric distribution.
La machine à glace est éteinte et la glace fond lentement. Cool. Donc là, ah mais attends, il y avait un truc là. Ah, vu.
A few bricks have fallen off, revealing a compartment behind the wall. It's too dark to see in.
Regardez, il y a un trou dans le mur.
Yes. And there also appears to be something inside the hole. Interesting. Do you want to
Ça
take a
marche.
look?
Regarde à l'intérieur.
Hand reaches deep into darkness and spider webs. Rummaging around, you find rusty rifles hidden away.
Des fusils, Kim.
Any good?
Most
Inspecte les
of them
fusils.
are rusty and inoperable, like the rest, but one catches your eye. A bolt-action model with a fine wood stock, in better cosmetic order than the others. An old Belmagrave rifle, Revolutionary era, prized for its reliability more than its accuracy. The rest are probably Belmagraves too, just too damaged to be sure.
Le Belmagrave a pas l'air trop mal.
That's a rare sight.
Prends le fusil.
It will no longer be functional, but still a beautiful thing in its own way.
Maintenant, admire le fusil et ses yeux scintillent. Ressemble à l'arme du crime, non?
Type of weapon, yes, a breech loader. An interesting coincidence that we should find something so similar. But I'm afraid our search for the real murder weapon must continue.
Où sommes-nous?
Seems like an old bunker from the Revolutionary period. Look at all those rifles. Must be an old weapons cache.
Ok. Un fusil ici, qu'est-ce que ça
There
signifie?
are firearms, albeit inoperable, still lying around in Martinez. It's an interesting coincidence, I would say. Might come in useful in the future.
D'accord. Là, j'ai un flingue, là. Ok. Ok.
You see the looming shadow of an ice bear with a strange compartment in its belly. The door is slightly open. Its eyes are dead, but it's still terrifying. Run before it wakes up.
Ouvre la porte.
A waft of cold air rolls out. You hear the sound of dripping water. This is the inside of a defrosting refrigerator. The lieutenant takes a peek
Sacré frigo.
inside. His hand has found the holster of his gun.
Faut se détendre, Kim, c'est un frigo.
Just a giant ice bear-shaped fridge.
Le doigt se relâche tandis que son visage baigne dans la lumière crue de l'ouverture.
Let's take a look inside.
Regarde dans l'intérieur.
Are empty. All you see are crumpled ice cream wrappers with the brand name, Glacial Ice City. A handwritten note has been attached to the door. The fridge is huge.
Prends le mot sur la porte.
Pocket the note and the little fridge magnets keeping it on the door.
Examinons un des emballages de glace à l'intérieur.
The cartoon bear smiles back at you from a glossy cellophane wrapper. It looks nothing like the fridge. The paper still smells of vanilla and chocolate.
Ce frigo en forme d'ours au beau milieu d'une cave abandonnée.
Good question. It looks like an ice cream fridge.
Lieutenant saisit l'un des emballages et tente d'examiner dans le noir. Comptez vendre des glaces avec cette bête terrifiante?
What an unfortunate marketing choice.
Ah, qui est-ce, le lieutenant?
At least it's not running them a loss anymore, now that you've unplugged the cable.
Monte du doigt le câble qui part du réfrigérateur.
The fridge sits empty before you, an overindulgent wardrobe, now that the cooling systems aren't active.
Aucun intérêt.
Both cables are unplugged somewhere in the dark. A giant electrical mammal stirs to life. Somewhere, a machine hums along with the current, happy and contented.
Ok. Ah, on ressort là, d'accord. Bon. Pas très fructueux, mais très bien. Par contre, j'ai un morceau de papier, je crois. Peut-être interagir avec. Yes.
The note is written with a blue pencil on a piece of lined office paper. The kitchen magnets have left spots on its surface.
Does it say anything interesting?
Le lieutenant s'approche pour lire la note froissée par-dessus votre épaule.
It's tangential at best, but the lieutenant's detective instinct is still active.
La note.
Someone has scribbled, S. I can't believe the off-site copy is still here. The illiterate ginger kid keeps stealing stuff from the studio.
Oh no!
To hide it somewhere safe. You'll find the filament memory with the off-site copy in the frozen ice cream maker. Please take it home, ASAP. It's important. I'd do it myself if I lived in a civilized place with a freezer. Take care, Sully Soif.
Attends. Dans la machine à glace? Ah non, il n'y avait plus rien. C'est moi qui ai écrit cette note.
From that radio game company upstairs. I'm a little surprised they just left their property lying here.
Ils ont peut-être dû partir en vitesse.
Plausible hypothesis.
Voilà, mémoire filamentaire déjà.
Inside a radio computer, storing its memory. It's like a tape. You listen to disco tapes, right? It's like one of your disco tapes, only for a computer.
Juste confirmation que c'est bien Kuno, mais bon, qui est le jeune rouquin analphabète?
You don't have a single guess?
Je vais pas être Kuno.
I'm sure that child would love to get his hands on a filament memory. Even if he doesn't know what to do with it, he'd probably try to pawn it for speed, based on...
Avez-vous la moindre idée de l'endroit où pourrait se trouver cette machine à glace?
I don't know. I assume it's somewhere close to the ice bear fridge.
Didn't you see a melting ice cream maker right next to the breaker box?
Si. Si, donc attends, il faut que j'aille remettre...
All around you, rain
Oui.
falls on the great city of Rivershore.
Faut que j'aille remettre le truc.
From the eaves and floods the gutters, washing the filth away. The spring thaw must be here. The snow is melting. Looking up at the sky,
Qu'est-ce que je fais?
cold water dripping from your hat.
Qu'est-ce que je vois?
Sky like great battleships, clouds colliding with one another. Rain falls down on the world.
Je ressens.
Your coat shields you from the rain while the city shivers around you.
Et au sud.
Jam. Rain thrumming on the roofs of motor vehicles. Inside, drivers watch water streaming down their windshields. The statue of a king shudders. He too is cold.
Et si à l'autre côté?
Descends. A raised motorway loops above the ghetto. Beneath its concrete columns, a sea of rooftops, woodwork, and tar stretches northward. 4-story buildings as far as the rain can fall. The snows melt in Jamrock.
Un frisson et vous regardez plus loin.
Rain-swept distance above the rooftops of Jamrock, a repurposed silk mill stands perched above the motorway exit. Precinct 41 hunches in the rain. Your vision blurs. You wipe your face with your hand. The rain stings your eyes, making you look up and...
Vous savez ça, il y a quoi plus haut?
Hero statics hang like apparitions under the cloud cover.
Ok.
This rain will not let up anytime soon. At least we are dressed for it. Let's keep moving.
Et Kim. Attends. Attends mon petit Kim. J'ai envie de déverrouiller là. -2 en logique. Il reste encore tellement de trucs. Nanana. Là j'ai juste -1 en empathie donc c'est chiant. -2 en douleur transcendée mais ça va s'arrêter au bout d'un moment, c'est bien. J'espère. Enfin. Donc attends, je vais redébrancher le frigide. Et...
Two cables are plugged in something.
C'est ça en fait.
Dies with a
Why did you do that?
C'est pas, fous-moi la paix, Kim.
an electric sizzle. The room. This orange machine is dead.
C'est ça, ok.
It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner and an electric freezer.
Je tourne la manivelle.
Crank feels oddly satisfying, like stirring your childhood dreams. In the distance, you hear water dripping.
Essaye d'ouvrir le couvercle.
Your fingers under the frozen lid, but the ice is too cold for you. No, this is going to need something else, some kind of super pry bar. Don't even try to open it with a regular. If you want to try again, then you need to have the pry bar in your...
Ok, alors attends, j'essaye quand même avec mon super pied de biche.
This orange machine is dead
Ah ouais, 3%.
It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner and...
Ouais, on reviendra. Je pense que ça va se dégeler avec le temps. Attends, je vais aller voir Kuno. Kuno. Je mon pote.
Fuck does Kuno care?
Ok.
Kuno doesn't fuck.
Merci Kuno, c'était vraiment toujours un moment très enrichissant. Merci. Ah. Prenez, j'ai votre boule. Enfin, c'est pas vraiment votre boule, mais je vais vous la donner quand même.
The purity of snow always reminds me of the purity of a man's soul, if he's got principles.
Ah tiens, je peux demander. Vous pouvez me dire quelque chose à propos de ce fusil, René?
McGrave,
Oui.
4.46 caliber, breech loading, Glacial made. Good weapon, accurate and reliable.
His
Bien.
moves are quick and precise as he first checks the weapon, then aims it at the sea. This man knows firearms intimately.
Je n'ai jamais douté de René.
One's inoperable. The bolt spring is missing and the mechanism is jammed shut. Still a beauty. Where did you find her?
Au sous-sol là-bas.
I'm not surprised. There are probably lots of forgotten wartime weapons lying around here.
Ok.
Back in the day, everyone had something stashed away. As for the rifle, I don't know what else to tell you. These BM446s are an antique. No one uses them anymore.
Je vous ai trouvé une nouvelle boule, René, si jamais.
What is this? Are you mocking us? This isn't for pétanque.
C'est pas la pétanque?
Now, no need to get angry again, René. I'm sure the officer tried his best. It's not like there's a bull kiosk here in Martinez.
Tout à fait, j'ai fait de mon mieux.
Is worth as much as is accomplished. In this case,
Oh René.
nothing. Fine. You try to right a wrong. It's still a gram better than actual.
Merci René.
He mumbles something to himself. It seems to be a variety of curses.
Merci René, à bientôt. Bon, il faut aller parler à la libraire là. C'est que c'est conneries.
Every snowflake is like a little little gift from the sky.
C'est qui la meuf là-bas, madame?
That's Auntie Billy. She's nice if a bit distressed.
C'est ta tante?
No, no, sir. She's a working woman who comes to look at the books a lot.
Et pourquoi est-ce qu'elle a l'air triste?
She is a bad husband.
Ah, parce qu'il a été kidnappé, je me rappelle maintenant. Oui, c'est vrai. Super, bisous. Alors, madame, comment ça? J'ai pas de pantalon.
Down?
Oui.
The back door? The
Oui.
wards? The door?
Oui.
It's all gone now?
Oui.
Dark psychic energy leeching onto my shop.
Et parfois nécessaire de prendre des mesures
I
drastiques.
suppose it's all over now.
Colle sa fesse.
Guess there's no escape.
Comme sous le poids d'un fardeau lourd. De quoi parlez-vous? C'est juste une porte.
Just a door? This place is cursed, detective. They don't call it the doomed commercial area for nothing. Just look at the sheer amount of companies that have failed in this house. I hope you're happy now. Now that you've ruined everything. Now that you've broken the door, the curse is coming to get me as well.
Elle ferme les yeux et se met à marmonner quelque chose à son pendentif.
Almighty, she prays. Guard me and my honest business venture from the curse that lurks behind the door. Blessed be your name.
Maudit? Les malédictions, ça n'existe pas, voyons.
You would think that. You're nothing but a policeman.
Hausse les épaules, visiblement découragé.
You know what? I'm willing to let you investigate the doomed commercial area. We are set on the path. There's little else to do.
Her facade has dropped. Now you see the curiosity behind the fear.
But before we go on, tell me, did you encounter the malignant entity?
L'entité? Non, je ne pense pas.
The malignant entity that lives inside the chimney. It takes the shape of a woman, a witch probably. I've suspected that she knows more about the curse than she lets on ever since I first saw her.
Ouais, de la cheminée qui fait partie de la chaudière principale, j'ai entendu des voix qui provenaient de l'intérieur.
I heard that it's enormous. She has barricaded herself behind some metal security curtains upstairs. God knows what she's doing there.
Pardon.
Some unnatural magic, I assume. You should go find the entity and ask what happened to all the companies in the building. And do return to me after you've talked to it. I'm quite anxious to know what she has to say about the curse.
If you're really interested in cracking this mystery, then we should go back to the furnace. Maybe you could yell into it or something. Make some noise. You'll think of something, you always do.
Okay, but please, only a few questions. You wouldn't want to disturb the spirits.
Je demande juste pour la malédiction parce que ça m'intrigue. Comment se manifeste la malédiction?
It's so much worse than you could imagine. It's a disease, eating at the very foundation.
Ok.
It's the curse of financial distress, of ruin and bankruptcy.
Étonnez-vous les rideaux. Je suis un peu paumé, qu'est-ce que ça veut dire?
Everyone knows that all the previous companies in this building have
Giftig. Bonjour, dit Manéa.
malicious spirits are still
Bienvenue.
feeding off bad business practices and disappointing income statements.
Ok.
Something wrong with this building, I can tell you. Ever since
Bon, pas grave, je m'en fous. Allez, je me tiens. Je vais aller juste rechercher de la vie et je retourne dans la chaudière. Oh là là. Oh bah tiens, il n'y a plus la vendeuse. Jure, je jure. Well. I am the retour of that. Non, attends, c'est où?
You see several packaged raincoats fill a low
Non mais je m'en fous de l'imperméable.
display.
J'ai du style. Ah, c'est là.
The tear machine stands in the corner.
Ah,
The
pardon.
sign says,
Où la vie? Ah, c'est...
a small cabinet on the wall is filled with various
Juste 3 de santé?
nasal
C'est pas mal, mais c'est cher, hein.
blister packs. They all bear the Saint Baptiste Pharmaceutics logo.
Okay, here. Okay, here. Okay, here. Saint Baptiste Pharmaceuticals. The one that sells meds out of Saint Baptiste. That one. Okay, here.
Ça devrait faire l'affaire. Je prends toujours cher. Là, j'en utilise un, ça c'est fait. La 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 la. La 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 la. I am back. Oula, ça écrit mal, hein. Et bah, welcome. Bonjour la chaudière.
A thick layer of coal dust covers the furnace, coloring it pitch black.
Il y a quelqu'un dans la chaudière. Il y a quelqu'un dans la chaudière?
Breaks loose in you. A mighty bellow echoes throughout the chimney's depths. The chatter of tiny voices above suddenly cease. Then,
Oh. Oh. Bonjour, vous êtes là? Parlez.
Did you say anything?
Il y a une pause.
Can't hear you. Please come upstairs. There's a safety curtain on the second floor. I'll open it.
Oh, trop bien.
you hear a low rumble upstairs. The sound of a curtain being pulled aside.
After you, officer.
After you, after you, after you, alors after me. Il mérite de prendre un peu de drogue là, non? Alors attends. Je m'équipe de ma plus belle lampe torche. Lampe torche pied de biche? Rien ne m'arrête. Comment ça va, monsieur Dimanéa? Vous avez passé une douce nuit? Mais dites-moi, vous êtes en congé? Vous êtes... que se passe-t-il? Attendez, j'ai encore des problèmes. Jour de confé? De confé ou de congé? Mais du coup tu taffes, t'es quoi? Mais madame, bonjour! Qu'est-ce que c'est que ça? Mais attends, j'ai tapé tout à l'heure et elle a pas répondu quoi. Tu vois, elle est remplie de dés colorés en forme de polyèdre. On a des centaines. Le péteur de bonbons a été reconverti. Putain, des milliers de dés. Bonjour!
Amnéa.
Mais vous êtes la laitière? Je vous reconnais. Une femme aux allures d'oiseau est juchée sur un trône d'outils. Une lumière vert émeraude scintille à travers sa chevelure.
Knocking on my window? I must have missed you. I've been listening to my Melius.
Ça pote le casque sur ses oreilles. Très bien, vous êtes une droguée, je vous arrête.
What kind of dyer you look?
Quel type de dés?
Direct view to the backyard.
Tu fais des dés, madame?
About the lynching.
Pas si vite, qu'est-ce que vous entendez par sphère?
It is like a call-in station. You need a two-way radio to access one. That's why I have these.
Le casque audio posé sur la table.
Mostly, they just teach you to swear in different languages. But some of the stations can be quite interesting. I was so absorbed, I must have missed you.
Je tapais fort pourtant, hein, j'ai perdu un point de vie. Vous vous trompez, j'ai pas tapé à votre fenêtre.
How did you get inside? By the south entrance? You know
Aucune des yeux.
what? It doesn't even matter. What matters is that you're finally here. Let's talk dice. Did you have something specific in mind?
Qu'est-ce que vous avez à me parler des dés?
I'm a novelty dice maker. Tell me the name of your role-playing system and I'll make the die you need. That's why you're here, yes?
Oui, oui.
Games? You know the one made by Fortress Accident. Does that count?
J'aime les jeux de rôle, il me faut des dés.
Good. My rate is 10 rel per set.
Ouf!
Unless you want something really unusual. Take a look around and see if there's any particular stone you want to use.
Les murs de la pièce sont recouverts de pierres précieuses et de minéraux.
No forces
Minéraux.
are present. She's a novelty dice maker and doesn't have anything.
Attends,
to
fais...
hide. Ask what you need.
Question là quand même. Comment êtes-vous devenu fabricante de dés?
How did I become one? It was a business decision. I was a regular jeweler at first, but that's an unfocused field.
Parce qu'il y a beaucoup de gens qui cherchent des dés à Glacial. que t'es en train de me dire? Tu foutrais pas un peu de ma gueule? La laitière?
Some of my friends were role players. They asked me to make some polyhedral dyes
Ah,
out
ok.
of cobalt. That was my first order. I grew it from there.
Est-ce que vous aimez les jeux de rôle, vous?
Not especially. I like working with rare materials and a steady pay. And role players as customers?
C'est vrai.
They're nice people.
Ben, je voudrais vous commander un dé.
Of course. Tell me what you have in mind.
Qu'est-ce qui irait bien avec ma personnalité, à votre avis?
I have just the right one for you.
Elle ouvre le premier tiroir de son bureau et en sort quelque chose. 2 polyèdres, un rouge et un bleu, sont blottis dans le creux de sa main. Je ne suis pas sûr de comprendre.
You're a police officer, right? Here, catch. They're a gift from me.
Je vous lance les dés. Ah, en plus, elle me les offre. J'attrape les dés.
Mr. Smooth moves. You snatch the dice out of the air with one hand, just like you're in a movie.
Un clin d'œil à la fabricante de dés.
What are the odds? The red one is made
Elle
of
fait un clin d'œil.
with a lapis lazuli inlay, and the blue one is the inverse. I believe these dice are your lucky charm, officer.
Yes.
She winked back at you. Can you believe it? You truly are Mr. Smooth Moves.
Je suis un super flic, coordination visio-tactile.
Definitely need luck in Martinez. Was there anything else?
Qu'est-ce que vous savez à propos de l'homme retrouvé lynché derrière le Wailing in Rags?
Really?
Super.
I didn't know him.
Ça, c'est bien, ça. Waifu?
Lieutenant
Non, laitière.
at his notebook.
Waitière.
Then the woman under the large window.
Pardon pour la lampe, hein. J'arrive pas à l'enlever, là.
Looks
Voilà.
directly onto the courtyard. You're saying you didn't see or hear anything unusual last Sunday evening?
I'm sorry, detective, but as you know, I usually have my headphones on when I'm working. It shuts out most of the daily ruckus behind my window.
La waitière, bah oui. Et vous ne tournez jamais les yeux de votre travail pour regarder par la fenêtre. La fenêtre, bien sûr.
In this case, all I would have seen is my own reflection staring back from the darkness. It's really hard to make anything out in the yard when it's dark outside. Besides, I rarely get up to look out the window when I'm in the
Elle est fou.
This person values focus above all. She keeps her sharp sight on the instruments before her.
Est-ce que vous travaillez souvent le dimanche soir? Vous
profession.
travaillez le dimanche?
Making dice for people, but I like it, and I prefer doing this to sitting at home.
Je vais dire le vacarme dehors.
Always something going on in the Whirling's backyard.
Elle s'interrompt pour illustrer son propos.
During daytime, there are usually those kids, and lately I've been seeing a lot of drunk workers hanging about. Must be because of the strike.
Hmm.
She's heard of the murder, but did not see it, sire.
But I never saw anyone during that fateful Sunday night, I'm afraid.
Je vois. Merci pour vos réponses.
Anything else, officer?
Bon, j'ai envie de savoir où est-ce qu'on est.
We're inside the chimney of an old central furnace. It's strange, I know.
Mais du coup, elle parlait toute seule.
But when I arrived here, all the other rooms were taken, so I had to build myself a makeshift home. Besides, I don't really have to pay any rent here, so that's
Creative.
Le lieutenant observe la pièce spacieuse qui l'entoure. Le plafond s'estompe dans les ombres
When
dessus.
she arrived here, there was no room anywhere else. She must have known the other businesses.
Ah. On va essayer de voir pour les créateurs de jeux de rôle, là. J'ai entendu dire que cet endroit était maudit. Vous êtes au courant que les gens l'appellent la zone commerciale maudite?
heard the stories. But I don't think those stories are true.
Plaisance m'envoie. Elle est convaincue que cet endroit bouillonne d'énergie négative.
The bookshop lady?
On se les sourcils.
That her business is doing rather well. Have the energy spared her somehow?
J'ignore pourquoi la librairie n'a pas encore fait faillite. Je suis venu pour tirer cette histoire au clair.
Right. But it's not just the bookstore that's still up and running. What about the whirling in rags? Some people say it's part of the building complex.
Pas si vite. Le Whirling fait aussi partie de la zone commerciale maudite?
Would say so. Both houses were built at the same time and under the east
Aïe.
of the Commerce Central Park.
Pardon. Peut-être, mais c'est quand même un autre bâtiment. Les énergies négatives ne peuvent pas l'atteindre.
Excuse me.
Pire. En observant sa table de travail en désordre. Elle contient... Pardon. Elle contient divers outils éparpillés. Couteau de gravure, pince coupante.
Here for 14 years, selling novelty dice to role-playing enthusiasts. Not exactly a million-real business idea, yet somehow I've survived despite the talk of malicious.
Juste pour vendre des dés, oui, je trouve ça étonnant, oui.
It's because she's in cahoots with the demons.
Ah.
Maybe it's just because she's so talented that she's been able to woo the curse.
Réplaisance, vous êtes la source de la malédiction, une entité malveillante.
An entity? What does that even mean?
Tête de rire.
Some kind of sorceress? What about you, officer? Do you think I'm the malignant entity?
The jig is up. The she-demon knows you've uncovered her true identity.
Honnêtement, je ne sais pas trop quoi penser, le monde est un lieu étrange.
Is it now? I've always thought it's a rather mundane and boring place with no supernatural surprises inside. Well, if you ever find a way to explain all those inconsistencies in the curse, let me know.
C'est-à-dire... Merde, je l'ai pas fait ça. Si. Tant pis. Pas envie de me refaire cacato essai. 17%. Vous savez ce qui est arrivé aux autres propriétaires s'il n'y a plus personne?
Are you interested in anyone specific?
Oui, attends. Il y a un ours en paille flippant dans la cave.
The fabled Revachol ICT.
La souris s'incline légèrement, les mains sur les genoux, à l'instar d'une comédienne cependant restée.
The place was owned by two guys who had some rather innovative ideas about marketing. The bear was one of them. Now ask me about their other ideas.
Quelles étaient leurs autres idées?
There was really just one. And it involved picking out the prettiest girls in the neighborhood and paying them 20 cents per hour to man the booth.
Pas bête la bête. LOL.
Booth, I mean slump behind the counter with a face that could maim you if you ever dared to disturb their bored magazine browsing.
Incline en arrière et affiche un air désapprobateur.
Does the same thing.
J'allais dire, Frit fait pareil. On rappelle la gamine de chez Frit.
Going silky teenage girls is a widespread practice, yes. Unfortunately, they always come in packs. I'm talking about acne-ridden girlfriends and gorilla-like boyfriends loitering near the shop. At least that's what happened with Ravachol ICT. And they already had the bear.
Ferme les yeux comme pour conjurer un souvenir douloureux. Et l'ours alors?
The bear.
Répète-t-elle en pressant ses pouces contre ses tempes, comme pour calmer une migraine. Ça n'a pas marché?
The bear was terrifying. No one wants ice cream guarded by a hostile apex predator. To make matters worse,
Ah vache, l'idée de merde.
it didn't work too well either, and half the ice cream came out malformed and partially melted. Eventually, Ravachol ICT lost the price war to its rival, Glace 5000. Glace 5000 sold caramel sundaes for only 5 cents a piece,
Ah oui.
out of regular fridges.
J'ai tué l'ours.
You did what?
Se rapproche légèrement de vous dans un siège pivotant pour s'assurer qu'elle ne vous a pas entendu de travers. J'ai été contraint de tuer l'ours pour devenir l'ours.
I can see.
L'examen est au pied.
The taxidermist who made it said it was his vision beast. He said he met his vision beast while high on desiccants. He called it Megatherian.
Scary, but cool.
Megatherium.
Megatherian, a mega wild beast.
Quoi, une méga bête sauvage?
Imaginary beast that guides you through life. By telling you to do more drugs, mostly.
Je prends de la drogue, c'est aussi une créature totem?
Well, good luck keeping it under control. Anyway, now you know the story of the fallen ice cream empire.
Elle a l'air presque triste en terminant son histoire. Les particules de poussière dansent dans l'air et les suit nonchalamment du regard.
Little sparkling embers under the window. Outside it's light. Light scatters from the low-hanging cloud cover. There's always the threat of snow.
Anything else? Another failed business, perhaps? I've been here for a long time.
Moi j'aimerais trouver... Ah, trouver sur une machine bizarre peut-être.
The radio game
Ah voilà.
studio.
Ferme les yeux, venir en film son visage.
They're an interesting bunch. We talked about role-playing systems every now and then. Once, I even saw two of them get into fisticuffs over Wiro.
Ok.
They certainly took their work very seriously, even if they seem to be chronically liberal with their schedules.
Comment ça par-dessus la jambe? Et qu'est-ce qu'il passait?
Usual, they ran out of money and couldn't get the project done on time.
Mot de passe. Qu'est-ce qui s'est passé?
Well, I did hear them talking at times.
Elle jette un regard dans le hall, comme si elle pouvait encore les entendre papoter de l'autre côté du rideau pendant la pause clope.
They seemed to believe they were historical individuals on some grand quest.
She sounds almost mocking when she says that.
Ah bon? Ils ont pris un sacré melon, on dirait.
I thought, because when the money started to run out, they just began to complain a lot about capitalism. You know, how the markets are rigged to keep up new businesses and so on. In the end, they just didn't get it done. They didn't have enough willpower to produce something truly historic, and to show up to work on time.
Vous avez raison, ils ont manqué de détermination, ils avaient toutes les cartes en main pour réussir.
Not everyone is going to make it. That's the nature of the game.
Lance 2 dés, l'un d'eux s'arrête au bord du plateau métallique.
The result is 1 on a 20-sided die.
Anything else?
L'interphone du bâtiment mais il marche pas.
Right. I hope you didn't try to ring me. I think none of those doorbells work, including mine. I'm still in the middle of connecting the wires. Sorry about the confusion.
Ah, il m'est arrivé un drôle de truc quand j'ai appelé une société appelée Slipstream SCA, quelqu'un a répondu.
Can't be true. They don't work here anymore. They've been.
Ah bon?
Are you sure it was Slipstream SCA? Was it a woman? Maybe it was Plaisance from the bookstore.
Elle m'a dit que c'était Tricentennial Electrics.
Tricentennial Electrics?
Quelques instants pour connaître le nom.
It used to be a major electric company 100 years ago. Are you sure it wasn't just some kids playing a prank on you?
It was too real to be just a prank. Either we're dealing with a professional actress, or whatever happened, keep your cool. It's probably better to admit that it was a harmless prank.
Non, c'était étrange.
Pranks can be eerie.
Faut pas l'air d'éprouver la moindre inquiétude.
The kids these days. We were just one of them, and now they're terrorizing us. No solidarity.
Donc la sonnette sans étiquette, c'est la vôtre?
I haven't even written my name there. As I said, it's quite useless right now. It doesn't work yet.
On fout un peu, non? J'ai vu Flipper de l'étaler sur la sonnette.
It used to be a gaming arcade.
Ah.
This is an ancient failure, before my time. I'm not surprised, however.
Fort bien dommage.
My advice, don't base your business on a fad. Hypnotism, floriography, trick-track, especially pinball.
La mode du flipper.
Pinball is the worst.
Pas gentil.
Sure, I'm listening.
Taxidermiste. J'ai des mannequins qui foutent les jetons.
Fashion atelier here, but I have forgotten the head designer's name. They were doing well for a couple of years until the insect rights activists came.
What?
The atelier produced a certain collection that used chitin among the materials. Apparently chitin is made in the Occident, where it's extracted from beetle wings.
Okay.
And you know how all kinds of political movements are big in the Occident. The activists shut down the biggest chitin supplier, which of course caused the price to skyrocket. And, naturally, all the most fashionable tastemakers refused to be seen in chitin from then on. The atelier went bankrupt before they could finish the collection.
Mais les insectes n'ont ni cerveau ni sentiment.
Insects
Quel bâtard.
But yes, I understand what you're saying. I think the protesters took it a little too far.
As she shifts around, You notice several dead flies on the windowsill in front of her. Legs up. They're not moving.
Anything else?
Et le taxidermiste, ça me trigger. Il y avait un taxidermiste par ici, hein. Il y a des trophées de chasse dans tous les coins.
Mr. Fabron.
Monsieur Fabron!
No, he mostly just did drugs.
Ah, d'accord.
Anything else?
Non, bah c'est tout.
Good. I hope it clarified things a bit. What else?
D'autres questions à vous poser sur ce bâtiment? Bon, ça c'est bon.
Good.
Et je tente. 17%.
You feel nothing. If anything, it's uncomfortably warm in here.
Ah non, je vais pas me déshabiller.
Has begun to idly clean one of her carving tools with a dirty kerchief. The tool's sharp edge shining in the light of her desk lamp.
Je pense qu'elle vend de la drogue. Elle est tranquille. Quand même des petites ambiances, hein. Allez.
What have you found?
Discutez avec l'entité dont vous m'avez parlé, elle s'appelle Néa et c'est une fabricante de dés fantaisistes.
Novelty dice maker?
Merci les yeux.
Spit it out. Why does she need the dice? For some kind of sorcery? Sometimes they use the ankle bones of sheep.
Ni une sorcière ni une tentée malveillante, c'est une femme d'affaires comme vous.
Understand. If it's not her, then where is the source of the doom? How did she explain the curse?
Perplexe.
She's squeezing on the pendant too tight. A drop of blood in her palm. Just don't say you don't have any answer yet. The uncertainty is killing her. To hell with it. Perchance you ought to just lie, sire.
Est-ce que je mens? Non, je sais pas, parce qu'en vrai j'ai pas fini l'enquête, tu vois. Faut que j'attende pour ouvrir le congèle, donc pourquoi pas. La source se situe dans la boutique de taxidermiste. C'est frotter des arts bien plus sombres que la taxidermie à libérer les... Ouais, non, je vais faire ça. Ah putain, elle paraît déçue. Je suis la 17ème voix dans ta tête. Merci le chat. Merci le dé. Oh, pardon, j'ai tapé dans le micro, je suis navré. Vous êtes un poivreau, et je t'emmerde. Ok, ouais. Ok, ouais. Tiens, je vais mettre. J'ai envie de mettre un point en frisson du coup. Moi j'ai déjà 4. Mais c'est pas grave. Ouais. Eh ben. Hop. Franchement, c'était une enquête rondement menée. Et maintenant? Je pense que là maintenant, va falloir affronter les problèmes, la lutte. Les problèmes. Ils ont l'air tout à fait charmants.